Dimension videos.
Rain fell in steady sheets as a sleek motorcycle raced through the narrow streets of Prague. At the helm was Elias Voss, a calm but deadly intelligence agent known for finishing the impossible. Behind him, a black SUV roared after him, bullets smashing into brick walls. As he dove off the bike and slid behind a dumpster, the file pulsed with coordinates. The SUV screeched to a stop. Armed men jumped out. Elias waited until they moved closer, then rolled a smoke grenade across the ground. The cloud swallowed them. In a blur, he was up, disarming the first man with a swift elbow and taking down the second with a kick to the chest. His target tonight wasn't a man, it was a code, one called Project Tempest. Elias sat across from Leona Blaze, a satellite communications specialist brought in to help him breach Viric's digital defenses. She was sharp, quiet, and didn't like small talk. He respected that. A program that could control weather satellites worldwide. In the wrong hands, it could flood cities, wipe out power grids, or crash planes from the sky. The wrong hands, in this case, belonged to a tech billionaire turned rogue, Anton Virek. They moved through tight hallways until they found the central control room. But I thought they'd send more than just one suit and a tech girl. At the heart of it all stood Anton Virek himself.com/clean-shaven, and holding a tablet like it was a detonator. Elias swerved into an alley, tires skidding on the wet cobblestone. He grabbed a USB from the pocket of the first man, the last piece of a location trail left behind by Virek's former head engineer. A countdown appeared on the screens around them. Tempest launch. 10 o'clock, he whispered into his earpiece. I have the signal, send a plane. Gunshots echoed as he dove behind a console, returning fire. Leona plugged into the server, fingers flying across her keyboard. He moved like a shadow through the dark, dropping one enemy after another. A voice crackled back. Where to? An observatory in the Arctic Circle. As they drove across the tundra, a white dome appeared in the distance. The old observatory, it looked abandoned, but Elias knew better. Virek didn't need crowds, just satellites, servers, and silence. The next morning, a military jet sliced through gray skies. This is where he's hiding, she asked, studying the icy terrain on the screen. Not hiding, Elias said. Launching. He's about to activate Tempest. Once he does, he can make Category 5 hurricanes look like summer rain. In the middle of the icy platform stood a massive antenna, already spinning to life. Virek waited near the edge, holding the tablet high. They touched down on a frozen airstrip where a black snowcrawler was waiting. They entered through a side vent, avoiding drones that hovered around the perimeter. Inside, the walls buzzed with machines and heat. They crashed into each other, sliding across the ice. Fists flew. Blood mixed with snow. Virek grabbed a wrench and swung. Elias dodged, countered with a punch that knocked the villain against the antenna base. I expected someone to come, Virek said without turning. Virek screamed as the dish fell, dragging him into the fire below. Leona stepped forward. Shut it down, Virek smiled. You don't shut down the future. You ride the storm. He tapped the tablet. Gods poured into the room. Elias sprang into action. The countdown was gone. Tempest was no more. Keep them off me, she shouted. I can stall the launch. Elias flipped a table for cover, disarmed a guard, and used his weapon to take out the lights. The room plunged into chaos. Red alarms flashed, but it wasn't enough. Virek slipped away through a hidden elevator. He's heading to the satellite uplink, Elias said. I've delayed the launch, Leona said, but we need to destroy the antenna or he'll reboot from his tablet. They climbed a narrow staircase to the roof. The wind howled. Step any closer and I'll launch it manually, he shouted. Elias raised his weapon. You'll destroy cities, I'll save the planet, Virek said. No one changes without pain. Leona moved behind a generator and began rerouting the signal. Elias kept Virek talking. You think chaos is the answer? I think control is. You people only respond to disaster. I just planned to give you one. He tapped the screen. A siren blew. Too late, Virek sneered, but nothing happened. Leona stood, holding a wire. You forgot to secure your local relay. Virek lunged, but Elias was faster. Sparks burst from the control panel. The tower began to collapse. Silence followed. Elias stood, breathing hard. Leona walked up beside him. You all right, she asked. He nodded, cold but alive. They walked down from the roof. The servers were fried. Later, as the snowcrawler carried them away, Elias looked out over the ice. Do you think they'll try again? Leona asked. Always, he said. Someone always wants to play God. She handed him a small metal box. The last backup of the Tempest code. What do we do with this? Elias held it for a moment, then opened the door and tossed it into the snow. Let the earth keep its storms. The crawler drove off into the frozen white.
Are you enjoying the music in these stories? The Dimension soundtrack out now.